So it's time to run our main sewer line from the house to our existing septic connection, and wouldn't you know it, the solar trailer is right in the way, so we're going to have to move that out of the way first.
Alright, so I managed to walk it into position on the quad here, so we're connected. I don't know if this thing's too heavy or not. I guess we'll find out. We're not popping a wheelie already, so that's a good start, I guess. But I'm gonna unplug us, and Pam's just gonna basically be prepared to yell at me if something goes horribly wrong here. But basically all I want to do is drag the trailer just over kind of into a new area that's out of the line of that trench that I want to dig. So it'll still be close to the trailer so we can still plug it in. It'll still be open to the sun. So I believe just moving it over basically from where it is now to over here. Literally we're moving it like 10 feet or so. Should be fine. So cross your fingers.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Okay guys, here's our sewer trench, our wastewater trench. This is my current septic connection that the trailer is hooked up to. It connects to our septic tank, which is behind me now. But basically all I have to do is connect up to this. So what I did was I dug down to where this turns. It's currently an elbow, right, that goes this direction. I want to make that into a T so that I can continue on that direction. I'll actually have to add a little bend as well. I'll have to add a bend, I'll have to add a T up so that I can keep putting the RV into this. Eventually that could be closed off, I suppose. But I want to head this direction into the house. So I've played around with this a couple of times, so it might look like I'm a little off. I've moved this line around a couple of times depending on where I wanted to kind of enter the corner. The tires, the first set of tires you see here is actually kind of the retaining wall for the flat pad, as opposed to another set of tires that will be behind it that will be the actual foundation of the house. So it's got to go through both of those. So the idea is you need to maintain a slope in this line of 1/4 inch per foot. So it just so happens that from the spot I've got marked here with a string line out to the other end over there in the vicinity of, the very close vicinity of where I think it'll be connect to the house, I've got a stake over there and I've got it 60 feet. So this string is 60 feet long. So over the course of 60 feet, if I go 1/4 inch per foot, that's 15 inches that I have to rise to maintain the slope that I want. So what I did was I have two sets of string lines here. Hopefully you can see it. So they both start here in the same place and they start to split. So the lower string line is level. And if you look down here, it might be tough to see, but kind of halfway I've got a level in there. So that line, that bottom line is level. And this top line, what I did was at the end of that 60 feet at that other stake, I raised it 15 inches above this line. So that line, that top line should be my slope. So all I have to do is, as I dig my trench, I just have to make sure that the distance from my top line to the trench, the bottom of the trench, stays a consistent number, whatever that is. Just an offset. So whatever it is, let's say it's 24 inches from here down to the bottom of this pipe. If that were 24 inches, then that would mean the trench should stay 24 inches from this top line the whole way. So what happens is, because of the natural slope of our land, is we actually kind of come out of the ground here, which seems really bad, but it will actually be okay, because you have to keep in mind that, you know, these tires that I'm doing over here, these are all going to be buried in dirt. We're actually going to build the dirt up to that tire level. So even though this pipe is going to run along here and eventually kind of in this area here, it'll actually be sitting right on top of the ground that is here currently. Keep in mind that that will be underground in the future. So where I'm going to enter basically is I'm going to pull this tire out a little bit before I fill it. These are all full. I'm about to fill these tires. I'm going to move this tire over a little bit. I'm going to leave a gap that's just enough for my pipe to run through there. It'll be a 4-inch pipe. So I'm just going to create a little bit of a gap there to run through there. And then this second set of tires will be the actual footer of the house, and it'll run between those as well. And basically our bathroom, which is the exit point for all of our wastewater, is right in there. So this is the wastewater pipe. So I just have to leave a little gap here to get through this, and a little gap there to get through that. Again, the pipe will actually be underground after I put the dirt here and the dirt there. And keep in mind that my floor on the inside of the house will actually be the tire you're looking at here. These sets of tires, these will also be underground after I backfill with dirt here. So these will be the underground portion of the footer for the house. There will also be another set of tires on top of that before the bales. And that actually will kind of be filled in on the inside of the house with my floor. My earthen floor will be, 6, 8, 10 inches of dirt and other things, so that that will actually, the actual floor of the inside of the house where a toilet or a shower or whatever would be is actually going to be a good bit higher than that. So even though it looks like my pipe is running right up on top of the ground, or what, it really will be below the ground, and inside the house it'll be quite a bit below the floor. So I think we're going to be okay. So it's just time to, I've pretty much dug that trench because, like I said, I only had to dig about half of it because it actually kind of comes out of the ground. But this will just be a bunch of backfill. And now Pam and I are about to fill in the rest of these tires to finish up our area that we're going to backfill. And then I'll start setting the tires for the actual footer of the house. That will be an actual rectangle that we'll make. First set, again, will be underground, just like these are, actually at the same height. So this whole thing will be covered with dirt. And then one more set that will be above ground on top of these. Right, so 2 courses in a rectangle that the bales will sit on top of. So let's get to work filling some more tires. Okay folks, so I got the pieces yesterday for the piping to go from the existing septic connection up to the house. I went with ABS, so it's 3-inch Schedule 40 ABS. So I got a 22.5 degree elbow bend here. So we're gonna find out, if I go through that little gap right there, where that 22.5 kind of makes sense. I might put it right here, or I might go a little further before I put the elbow, depending on where things lay out. So I'm just going to kind of dry fit some things and lay them on the ground and see where we land. All right, let's see how we do. So here I'm getting ready to attach my first coupling to a full 10-foot piece of ABS. So this goes over this. So as you can see inside of here, there's kind of a little nub where the 2 pieces will kind of hit inside of here. Hopefully you can see that. So I measured in there, that's about 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna mark about 1.5 inches on this thing just to make sure I get it all the way in. So I'll put a little bit of a mark on here so that I can make sure I've gotten it all the way on and it's kind of seated all the way into that little lip. So I'll do that with each piece as I put them together. All right guys, so here we are about to make the connection to our existing septic connection. So we have to, because you can't reuse kind of pieces of PVC once they've been glued together, all of this here from the septic, this goes out to the septic this direction. From this fitting on, I can't reuse any of that stuff. So I basically just have to cut that off and gonna throw that away. And because I'm not gonna videotape myself gluing PVC pieces together and cutting them down, you can see that I've got all the full length pieces. These are 10-foot pieces to kind of run up to the into the house area. So I'm making sure that I can hit that kind of gap that I've put in the tires up there. All I need to do, those have been glued together with solvent cemented together with couplings every 10 feet. So all I need to do is make this final connection. And to make that final connection, I'm going to cut off what exists here, and I actually kind of want to reproduce this so that we can still connect with our RV hose. So because I'm not going to show the cutting and the gluing for one thing has to be done kind of quickly to get things together, right? So I'm probably not going to show that. I'll probably show you when it's done. So for right now, I'm going to try and show you what I'm about to put in place of this. So keep this in mind. I'll be cutting this off. So what I'm about to show you will be starting from here. It'll still incorporate this kind of sewer hose from the RV, but it will also get us a connection over to this pipe here. So this is kind of the area I'll be talking about from the point I cut this off to the point I connect up to here. So let's go take a look at that. So here we are at the pieces I think we're gonna need. If you can picture the PVC coming from the septic tank is coming this way. So I just chopped that off, right? So this, the first thing we're gonna hit is our fern co, and it goes over, it'll fit over that PVC. So it'll fit over that PVC, coming in here, and coming out the other side will be a short piece, I haven't cut it yet, but a short piece of 3-inch ABS. So there will be a stretch of ABS between these two, because these two things are going the outside of a piece of 3-inch ABS. So a 3-inch piece of ABS will be running from the inside of this to the inside of this. Here's our combination Y and bend. So it Ys and it bends. So this will be our up for our sewer connection for our RV, the thing that's currently, you know, done with just an elbow, because we want to continue on. So, and after we continue on, again, these two pieces don't go directly together. They both fit on around the outside of a piece of 3-inch ABS. So there'll be another short section of 3-inch ABS here. And this is our 22.5-degree bend that'll kind of kick us toward the house from the angle we're on to the angle we want to be on. And that long piece of pipe that's laying on the ground right now will come right into here. So that's all we'll need. I'll need 2 short pieces of ABS to connect these fittings. And then this one turns up. This is where we're going to come up above ground for our sewer connection. And the way we'll do that, again, because these fittings are meant to fit around 3-inch ABS, what I'll have to do is I'll have a short section as tall as I need it to be to come up above ground over there. A section of ABS right here, 3-inch ABS, that'll go into the top of this guy, and a coupling, the same way I connected those 10-footers. So the ABS will go into the bottom of that coupling, and out of the top of that coupling will be this guy here. I forget what the name, oops, just lost that. Let me grab that. Forget what the name of this one is, but the idea is so that this fits inside of here. We'll go like that. And the point of this one is to be threaded. So it can accept either a cap, which this was my PVC cap, and even though they're different materials, they're the same size. So that can screw into there if I want to cap it, or I can screw in my existing RV hose connection. We'll screw into this, so that's why I need to get to this. So those pieces will lay out kind of that way, right? So I need a short section of ABS for this. This one I'll measure to be just right to kind of come up above ground, kind of to the same height this one does. So I'll cut that to that length. And these two can really be quite short. They're really just to make the transition from a fitting to a fitting, right? From fitting to fitting, you need a piece of ABS in between. And I'll probably take this piece of ABS and I'll size it specifically so that I connect up at exactly the right angle with my 22.5 degree turn, so that I line up with this exactly. So I can kind of play with how long I make that before I want to turn. So if I did it way back here, right, that 22.5 might not be the right angle. But if I take it out a little farther first, then the 22.5 becomes the right angle. That's why this string line is kind of off to the side. It's not directly over this spot here, because that spot's actually going to be out here a little bit, and it makes my 22.5 degree angle throw me right into the gap of those tires. So that's the plan here. I probably won't show those steps again, because gluing is a time-sensitive task. So that's the way I'm going to put them together, and I'll show you it all when I'm done. I'm just going to cut the ABS pieces with a hacksaw. So let's get to that. Okay, here we are with that existing piece cut off. And here I have made my combo Y and bend with a short piece of ABS, straight ABS in between, and my fern co. So my fern co is already attached to my ABS. I just need to attach this fern co to that PVC, tighten it up, and that should be our transition to ABS. And we'll have our Y in place to go up for the RV connection. Okay, so Now I've got my Fernco and my combination Y and bend to give me my up for my RV sewer hose connection. I've got that in place, so obviously I'll have to put a piece of 3-inch pipe up there and then attach my threaded insert on top. But for now, the next thing I'm going to do is cut a length of 3-inch ABS to come out of the end of this other end, come this direction, and I want that 22.5 to match up perfectly with this pipe going this way. So I'll cut this length of pipe to make that, to make these two connect at the right spot and have that 22.5 be the right angle. I mean, it could be way back here, or it could be farther out here. So that's what I want to see before I cut this piece of straight pipe. So I'll cut it to make it set that angle correctly. So that's next. Okay, I hope this looks all right with the light, but there's our PVC pipe coming out of the ground. There's our Fernco. There's a little stretch of, a very small stretch of 3-inch PVC into our combo Y and bend. And then another stretch of PVC to get to our 22.5 degree elbow to point us off toward the house. So we're connected in a line now. Now all I have to do is out of this Y, I have to put a pipe coming up, and I want it to be about as high as it was before so that I can have my RV connection come down and screw into it. So I need a piece of 3-inch PVC straight up. I'll measure it to get it the right height, and then we'll put that screw connection on top. I mean, it'll glue on, but it has threads in the top of it for either a cap or for the RV hose. So that's all that's left. All right, here we are completed. Again, I can't see this real well on my screen, but we've got white PVC that comes from the septic. We got our Fernco to connect us to ABS, a little piece of ABS before we hit our elbow Y combination that gives us the up and keeps going. So we keep going with another piece of ABS to our 22.5 degree bend, which sends us in the direction of the house. So there we go, all at the appropriate slope, 1/4 of an inch per foot, all nice and tamped down, that trench there. And our Y that comes up gives us our connection for our RV hose. I haven't connected it back yet, I've just plugged it up for the moment, but I'll have to kick this little, I made this little channel a while back just to hold the hose and keep it kind of straight and level. So I'll just kick it over a little bit to kind of meet this, but other than that, I should just be able to hook that hose back up and connect it over here, and we should be good to go. We can drop our RV waste into here, and when we're ready, we can send waste from the house down here. So I think that should do it. I'll take another shot maybe when I get the RV hose connected, but I'm going to take a break for lunch.
Well, thanks again for watching, everybody. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you liked it, please hit that thumbs up button and maybe come back and subscribe and see if we can put together a whole house here. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Talk to you later.